It's like super dope. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the news. Now, y'all, we got the big three. Now, once again, y'all, this is part 2 of the big three conversation. Now, once again, y'all, does the new generation have a big three? I gotta ask y'all this again. Where was the big three before 2010? Non-existent. Aside from the Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas thing, there was no big three before 2009, 2010, right? 14-year narrative with Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and J. Cole was something new. Now, going forward, this big three dynamic, it should just be isolated and finitoed to Kendrick Lamar, Drake, and J. Cole. For the new generations, I don't think that they should have a big three because they can't have a big three. And I'll build more on that towards the end of this. But this is not like before where, once again, magazines and editorials could dominate the perspective of the audience. Back then, of course, you always have more control over what the audience listens to and consumes. But now, you can't do that. Now, they can't control what the audience is really listening to. I think in the 90s and the 2000s, that was a bit easier to do. People never had to just listen to what everyone else was listening to. And when you look at how people is dealing with radio, it's harder to get millions of people to subscribe to the same narrative because of social media and on-demand streaming, all of these different things. If we keeping it a pain. Now, the current big three can't still be Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and J. Cole when there's a whole new generation of rappers. That conversation wasn't even created for today's crop of artists. I mean, some contenders would be Kodak Black, Doja Cat, Travis Scott, Don Toliver, Juice WRLD, Lil Tyler. Lil Tyler, I would put him in the big three for after Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, because y'all, it's low-key been 2 generations almost. Kendrick Lamar, Drake, and J. Cole, that was for like 2008, 2015, yo. Now, after that, who's after them? And then after that, I think now we 2 generations behind with this. Y'all see what I'm saying? Like, I think Lil Tyler is a really dope artist. And then I will put Glorilla there. Of course, XXX Tentacion, R.I.P. Drake Yoderulla, R.I.P. Lil Uzi, of course. Playboy Cardi, of course. And Pop Smoke, R.I.P. And Doechii as well. Doechii is very talented. There's more great artists, of course, but these are just a few from the generation after Kendrick and Drake that make great music and have amazing potential. You notice that a few of the artists that we mentioned up there, unfortunately, aren't with us anymore. That's one of the main problems with the previous generation's crop of artists. Some of the biggest stars of that generation experienced anomalies. XXX, for example, was the leading innovator of his generation. Juice WRLD was innovative. Pop Smoke is innovative. These dudes, they also charted, their audience loved them, and they always came with unique sounds. They're not expressing themselves here anymore. And this is one of the main standout reasons why this generation didn't have a big three. These anomalies also put a stain on hip-hop that'll affect the art form for years to come. XXX, Juice WRLD, Pop Smoke. Of course, love and respect to all of the artists that's not with us anymore. Those 3, in a way, were the big threes of their generation. They wasn't just coming with great music, they were innovating genres while they were there. So that's why those were anomalies. Those that should not have happened. That created a big glitch. I look at those situations like glitches almost, because you see that they affected their generation tremendously. If we're just being honest, they also had short catalogs as well. But now going forward, Travis Scott is one of the most biggest artists in the world, most unique artists in the world, and has a completely different sound. Travis Scott, in my opinion, is one of the last undeniable rap hip-hop superstars, and some of the artists that I mentioned before, like Lil Tyler, Don Toliver, Lotto, Doechii, they're coming up. They're becoming superstars in their own way, but I definitely think Don Toliver is one of those. But Travis Scott also doesn't necessarily check every box for being a rapper, meaning that Travis don't have a song with 100 bars or 200 bars. He's not a typical rapper in the canotypical sense. He's more of a sonics guy, melodies. Y'all let me know your favorite Travis Scott bars. Y'all let me know in the comments. Give me your favorite Travis Scott bars. Let me know I'm not wildin'. That's also most of the rappers. They use a lot of effects, a lot of auto-tune, and there's not really any push of them emphasizing bars and lyricism in the classic sense. It's more so listening to what the melody and sonic experience is creating, as opposed to bars, lyrics, delivery, punchlines, etc. It's everything that Jay-Z warned us about in DOA. La da da da. Hey, hey, hey. By the way, auto-tune ain't going nowhere, in my opinion. It's cemented in the music. At the same time, these artists aren't using auto-tune like how Lil Wayne would use it or Vybz Kartel. It's more so relying on sonics, melody, and the music as opposed to lyricism and innovative bars. Travis Scott, Playboi Carti, Lil Uzi, they do what they do the best. We definitely need this generation of artists to turn it up with classic bars and music that makes the audience focus on the bars and the words. There should be a healthy blend between the two. What I'm ultimately saying here is that because hip-hop became an amalgamated art form, it's lost its essence by blending in with so many different art forms too. Rappers can't be rappers. That's why there's not really any big three. You're not really saying who's your favorite rapper. It's more so who rhymes and sings the best, who harmonizes the best, who does the best melodies. And at one point, people didn't even realize that they were saying who dumbs it down the best. Who can make the dumbest songs with the most pop cultural appeal, even if people aren't gonna like it next year? That was literally a thing in like 10 years ago. Y'all, let me know if I'm wildin'. But ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all subscribe to the Super Tube. I know it's Astrostetics. Let's get it, baby. Whoa. Head on over to BarnesandNobles.com, Amazon.com, and pick up your copy of Astrostetics, The Aesthetics of Astrology today. This book is 500 pages. If you're curious about astrology, this book is for you. If you want to know how to read a birth chart, master reading the natal chart, this book is for you. Relationships, compatibility, synastry, financial astrology, astrocartography. If you want to know where's the best place for me to move, relocational astrology is in there as well. Pick up your copy right now. Head on over to BarnesandNobles.com, Amazon.com, and order Astrostetics today. It's Astrostetics.